And we're live.
Hi, I'm Garmbreak1, and this is the Midgardia RPG Network. Today we'll be playing Crossroads, a D&D 5th edition campaign in a homebrew world designed by me, Garmbreak1, using a frankly unreasonable amount of third-party material from publishers such as Kobold Press, Tribal. I think we have some Mage Hand Press stuff in there too. I'm not sure.
Yes.
But that sounds right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Alright. And a few others. If you're curious about anything that you hear in this broadcast, you'll be able to find links to it under the description on our YouTube on the YouTube version of this video. And joining me tonight, I have these players.
Hi, I'm Hikaru, also known as Karu to my friends. I am playing Archie, who is a gearsmith craftsman human.
Oh, hey, I'm next. And by that, I mean my name is Pi. I'm playing Dacio. He is a little shit alchemist. He's technically a Triton, but I like to go by Sexy Fish Boy with pointy teeth.
That's fair.
I think we can all agree with that.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Zayo. I am playing Amaris, a trick shot gunslinger kobold, and also a tiny child who should not have been given guns.
Rip. Hi, I'm Sho. I'm playing Askan, the Domain of Flame cleric, who is a water genasi.
Excellent. And if I recall correctly, last time you guys solved the mystery of a missing child and successfully brought him back to his home, which is the small refugee camp that you guys are currently living in, surrounding the bar and tavern, which is our lovely title image, which has in no way been very precisely cropped to remove all modernity from the left side of the screen.
Except for a single car.
Okay, no, you can't see the car. It's good.
No, you can't see it on the stream.
Yeah. Go team. Cars don't exist. Cars are a myth.
What is a car?
I think they're the weird living things with the eye windshields. Anyway, so once more you guys find yourselves in the in the bar and tavern. Oh, you also made a friend. That was the other thing. You guys befriended some kobolds instead of mercilessly killing all of them because you're not murder hobos yet.
They were kobolds. How could we kill them?
Yeah, we've made
Yes.
allies of the Diamond Devils.
Is that what I called them? Fuck,
Yes.
that's a
Yeah,
great name.
that's what you called them.
Shit, I'm good at this. All right.
Our
Sorry,
great
it's
friend
been-
Kugmesk the Great.
Right. Yeah, sorry, it's been 2 months or something,
Mhm.
because I got the swine flu and then left the country.
These things were not related.
Only after
These
the
things-
swine flu was gone.
After the swine flu was gone, just so we're all real clear on that.
You still would have left the country even if you still had it.
Oh yeah,
I will not confirm or deny.
which means yes.
Anyway, so you guys were... Yeah, I can't stay in the country with the swine flu. That'd be bad. So your guys' main problem, as I recall, is that you don't have money at all.
Mm-hmm.
And
None. Zip zero.
yeah,
And I think we're also running low on supplies. It's been a tough winter for us.
Yeah, it's spring now. And, Kugamesk, however, does know the area a little bit better than you, and he knows of a town just up the road from you guys, place called Goldendale. He had some friends, I guess, or at least another tribe of kobolds somewhere around that area, and apparently it's not a bad place. Maybe checking out there would be a good way to earn some money, maybe set up some trade, that kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah, that
I
sounds...
mean, yeah, that would work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I apologize for railroading you a little, but I'm doing my best.
No. I mean, considering we seem to be the face of the settlement because we somehow managed to get everyone out of the town, or at least the ones,
Alive.
these people alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Besides, I think especially Archie is very much the kind who wants to make sure everyone is happy and fed. So any leads on that will he would totally follow up on and drag the rest with him.
Yeah, the closest thing this place really has to leadership right now is like you guys and the guy who runs the tavern.
Well, those
On a
three.
scale of 1 to extremely doomed,
You're pretty doomed. I mean, your hometown kind of got
that
destroyed.
wasn't a question.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
Archie's responsible.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so you guys hit the road. It's road is a bit generous. It's more like well, for the most part, it's basically just a dirt path. It widens out eventually once you hit like something that looks more like a normal trade route. You can smell all the general smells of spring. You know, recent rain, new growth of plants. The leaves are coming in nicely on everything. You can hear a burbling brook somewhere in the distance, and the winter is always hard. Winter is awful.
Winter is the
bad.
worst.
Um,
Yeah. Fucking mood.
yeah, winter is the worst except for summer, which is also the worst.
Yep.
Anyway,
Fucking mood.
as you guys are heading up the road, you see a stump of a tree with what looks to be a bunch of plants and like mushrooms splayed across the stump.
So your typical stump.
Typical stump, not like growing off of it, but like deliberately placed there.
Oh.
Like a place setting dinner or something?
Or like
Do
an
they look
offering.
yummy?
Yeah.
Do they look poisonous?
Give me.
I'm trying to.
Nature?
Yeah, you know what? Give me a nature check there, Amaris.
Ooh,
13.
that's...
Some of them look yummy.
Are any of them poisonous? Or poisonous looking?
The yummy
Oh.
ones.
Wait,
Yeah.
so
Amherst
so
is just
these are
going
like
toward-
cut off mushrooms that are just like placed on top of the stump, like the stump was a dinner table?
Or an altar.
Not necessarily like a. You know what? Give me an investigate. Oh shit! What would be the appropriate role for
Insight?
Insight?
insight? Yeah, yeah. Give me an insight check. You try to
Good
determine.
roll.
13.
Wow, we're doing great.
We
It-
are.
It doesn't look like a place setting. Not necessarily. Although you can't really rule out altar. There's no symbols of traditional like worship around there.
But they were definitely placed there on purpose.
Yeah, they're in a nice sunny spot.
Okay.
Amherst is going towards it.
I'm gonna grab Amaris's shoulder and stop her.
Mhm.
1 second.
But they look yummy.
Can I look around and see if this is like a trap?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
I
Okay.
like to aid.
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
I'm
20.
hungry.
You don't see. It doesn't look like there's a pitfall trap around it or anything.
Okay.
Or, like,
not
a
like
snare or-
someone
Not-
waiting in ambush.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Uh,
How long have these been sitting out?
um,
Mushrooms dry out.
Fast.
they're still pretty moist actually.
Huh.
Also, right, 20 perception. You can see footprints leading both to and away from the stump. It looks like only one set of footprints.
Okay. Suspicious
Uh,
AF, but okay.
humanoid, I guess.
Amherst,
Does it look?
do you know which one of those are edible?
Those ones look yummy.
Can I
Right.
check to see which ones are the poisonous ones? If there
I'm
are
just
any
basically
poisonous ones?
pointing to the ones that look yummy.
All right, Ascan, give me a nature check.
You realize certain mushrooms could kill you.
Oh yes, I know. Those are the great ones.
They can
Well,
make really-
Ascan, there's a sprig of herb there, and you're not sure if it makes some incredibly excellent tea or will kill you instantly if consumed.
Those are the
Dang
two
it.
options, huh?
I kind of want to take it and examine it closer later.
So can I go towards it now? Archie, please.
I let go of the kobold.
I go forward.
Yeah, I
Alright.
follow.
Right as you reach out towards the stump, you hear a rustling in the tree line.
I'm just
And-
looking around, waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
And a descriptions are all right. A fairly tall, gaunt tiefling stumbles out of the bush, like noticeably kind of tripping as he hurries through, like catching his foot on a root. And he's like, "Oh, please don't touch that. Hello, that's dangerous."
See?
Oh,
Told
Who
you.
are you?
Why?
Hell yeah!
Hi, I'm Amorous. How are you? Who are you? Nice to meet you.
Did I not give this fucker a name?
Arm.
Hi, I'm
And
Garnbrick
so-
One, and this is like the easiest thing in the world, and yet
It's not never come up before that a DM has been called out on what someone's name is, and they haven't had that ready.
hello, I'm Damikos. Who are you?
I just said I'm Amorous. Hi, nice to meet you.
Right, yes.
Okay. Of course.
What?
Hey,
Is
Damocos,
he
that's
Greek?
Dacio.
Oh well, hello. And like, he's wiry, I guess, is the description that you give him. Like, his legs and arms both seem unusually disproportionately long. Not quite clamp character, but certainly approaching that. He's got horns that form. They kind of circle out and then come back together and then back away as they go up above his head. Around one of them, there is a vine encircling it with like a little flower at the top. You're not really sure how intentional that is.
Considering how much he was just running.
Is he
What
wearing-
colored tiefling are we talking here?
He's a very pale, like pasty white.
What
Interesting.
is he?
I
what is
like
he
him.
wearing?
What
Sorry,
are these
Shu?
things for?
What is he wearing?
He's
Like-
wearing some fairly discolored robes, like they have noticeable splotches of various colors.
Okay.
And on his back, he has a pack.
Are these mushrooms yours?
Yes, I've been gathering interesting materials from around here. They some of them were quite dangerous. Please do not, I would recommend against touching them.
Ah,
Are any of them yummy?
Oh.
But we've been traveling
Save
all
me.
day. I'm hungry.
He pauses for a second, and you can see him like visibly contemplating and scratching his chin. Well, yes, but I don't
recommend eating
No.
them.
no,
no,
recommend eating them.
Amorous. Amorous, remember how I told you you couldn't eat anything out of my bag?
And I don't
This
eat
is like
anything
that.
out of your bag anymore.
Yes, because it sent you to the nurse for a solid month.
It was one day less than a month, thank you very much.
And to be fair, she was able to breathe fire for a week.
That was awesome!
Yes, that was the greatest part of this. But that is beyond beside the point. So, have you found anything new around here? We could compare notes.
Well, I haven't found anything in particular, but I've heard rumors that a fairly rare plant was spotted out here recently,
Oh,
and that's why I've been tromping my way through the forest around here.
what kind of
Uh,
plant?
Have any of you heard of a plant called the Asimar Rose?
Have we?
Is that
I
okay?
sparkle. This
Um,
sounds like something I'd want.
Give me nature checks. Anybody who thinks they might know?
I'm going to say a quick prayer. Oops, and roll a d4.
Who are you touching for that, buddy?
Oh, I'm touching myself.
Why did you
Okay,
even
Carl.
ask?
Garm, what did you expect?
Honestly, yeah.
Oh.
So a 13 total.
Are you gonna be okay
There,
there,
Garm.
Garm?
I don't know what I expected from that. I.
Fuck the DM, congrats.
Yay.
Okay, I'm good.
Are you?
I'm okay. Good might be an overestimation. Overstatement, rather. Alright. Just give me 1 sec while I check a thing I'm being me out. Who's who? Well,
Oh dear.
Tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it.
it's not even angry typing, that's just like normal Garm typing.
Oh yes,
Sorry, forgot to mute myself.
it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, you gotta take things out of the bag before you eat them. Good. Anyway, no, it's something like you may have heard somebody refer to it at some point in the past, but I don't think any of you would have actually seen one before.
It sounds like it would be a pretty rose, but I can't say I've heard of it before. Is
What's
it
that?
celestial of origin?
He kind of rocks his head back and forth and goes, well, you're all. It's a plant that only grows in places where where a lot of magical activity has taken place, especially healing magic in particular.
Oh.
It's almost like a mutation of the natural wildlife. It's said to have wonderful mending and healing properties.
Oh god. Askin is sparkling.
Yeah, Amherst is just looking at Askin, watching his reactions.
Ooh. And you said that it was rumored to be around here, perhaps?
Yeah, back during the Great Tiefling Aasimar War, this was the site of a fairly minor battle, but a battle nonetheless. I believe the village, Goldendale, has some relics from that time. Nothing too impressive, but an ancient shield here or there, or a mildly impressive sword.
Really?
Whoa. Back up a second.
Earl?
You said minor battle. That doesn't say much in this war.
Yeah, well, there were only a few hundred on each side involved. Really fairly minor in the grand scheme of things, although such numbers would be quite impressive today. And he points off behind you where there is like a noticeable circular depression in the ground. like the ground suddenly dips a good, I don't know, maybe 5 or so feet. So it's like about 5 feet in diameter and then 5 feet straight down.
Hmm.
Crater. He's like, I believe that, for example, was the result of some an errant mage's spell, or perhaps less errant.
Oh no, it was definitely errant. That thing's egg-shaped, really. You see how it goes deeper than anything else? It's only 2.5 feet in radius, but it's 5 feet down, which means they really poorly aimed it.
Unless they were aiming above, from above and aiming down.
It's possible.
You're still wasting a whole lot of energy on the ground when that. Beside the point, this could be very useful for certain infirmaries that I don't consider filling up on a regular basis.
He flashes a smile at you.
I didn't mean to.
Well, you seem to be quite a clever group. Would you be willing to assist me in my search?
Do we have time to, Archie?
Well, we are trying to gather resources and money to help a group of refugees.
Refugees, you say?
Yes, we're something like in charge of a group of people who had to flee their homes last before the winter.
Ah, well, I'm quite sorry to hear that. Perhaps if we do find some Asimar Rose, the potions and unguents that I can make from it could be quite of use to you then.
I suppose if that's the case, we could possibly help.
Mm-hmm. I'm
I,
certainly interested.
Besides, this will be easy.
Easy.
Well, I mean, I initially moved out to Goldendale in search of this, in search of the Asimar Rose last spring. I've found one so far.
What does it look like?
At that, he reaches into his sleeve, pulls out a scroll, and like whips it open. It's a very elaborate flower. It looks like it's sorry, words are hard. It's clearly drawn by him, and he is not the most proficient artist in the world. The top of the flower looks more like a spell circle than a typical flower. Like the leaves bend and contort at the petals bend and contort at strange angles inside it.
That looks really cool.
Right. So,
What
What?
what was that noise?
I fucking hate you, show.
I did not.
You give me my thought process back, you son of a bitch.
Really cool.
Anyway.
Me too.
Me too. Me three.
All right. So, what I was going to say before fucking ADD popped in is that, all right. So, if we want to take a short rest here, clear off this table of anything, do not eat that amorous, I swear.
Nah.
Archie, best of luck. Right. Clear off this stump and we'll find if there's any flowers around here.
Mm-hmm.
Are we
Did,
looking for flowers? Can we look for food?
Did Demako say what color the celestial rose was? Or Asimar rose?
I guess he didn't say. It's. Well, he would tell you that it's silvery towards the top, and the petals get pinker the further down it goes. It's like a bit of a gradient. Yeah.
All right.
So you clear the stuff off, and he sets it, on the ground, but still in the sunlight. He's drying these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your plan, Pi?
I would like to, while muttering, See, and they thought it was going to be of no use to shave the dog. This requires a fur from a bloodhound.
Oh my god.
And we're just going to make a simple little circle with basically a pointy stick on the flattest part so that it can spin. Yes.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
God.
useful.
Well, that's the session over.
I did, in fact, tell him before I did
I
this.
did. That's what the furious typing was in response to.
Okay.
My exact response was, quote, "Motherfucker, that makes it too simple," end quote.
I gave him a fix for it.
Yeah.
Within 5 miles.
Oh,
5
God.
mi-
5-mile radius. And it's a ritual, so it doesn't even
So it doesn't take a spell
spell
slot.
slot.
I mean, to be fair, it does also only give you the closest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as
So
it's
you
a
better
ritual,
hope
you
nobody
can-
actually owns one.
Well, oh.
Oh man, I hadn't even thought of that.
Also,
Yeah.
it says describe or name one. So hopefully I got this right.
Yeah.
I mean, we know the name and the description, so...
Because we saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's totally worthy.
I think the name is better in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if he just made that up?
I mean, that's true.
Aren't all names
Does-
made up?
True.
Yes, but does this individual look like they are all there and shares naming conventions
of
with
us do.
anything else?
None of us look like we're all there.
It's true.
It regrew.
Domikos looks okay. He doesn't look completely unhinged. He does look a little spooky between like the like stark white skin, black horns, and red eyes. But you know, tieflings, right?
Right. Does he look like a magic user druid, maybe? Like...
He has robes. He's a magic user.
Your best guess would probably be somewhere between druid and alchemist.
Mm-hmm. Except both of those have locate animals or plants, and this fucker hasn't been able to find a single plant in...
Yes,
Look,
that
it's
had
hard.
hurt.
Shut up.
He never
Look.
said he was a good druid or alchemist.
Listen, maybe he wasn't smart enough to shave a couple of bloodhounds.
I just don't like shaving dogs.
I thought they
Are
were
you
strays.
allergic?
Listen,
I mean, the other option is he's not high enough level to get a level 2 spell.
that's
Yeah.
true.
I mean,
Or
he
hasn't
just,
like run into the ritual.
Oh, so
or
he's
he
a
just
child.
has completely no magical ability whatsoever.
Exactly. Yeah, there's many options.
Yeah.
All right, so that
Man.
takes... if you're casting it as a ritual, that's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
In the
So is
mean-
this like?
Oops.
Sorry.
In the meantime, while that ritual is being cast, can we just kind of scour around to see if there are any interesting plants or potential leads on that?
Yeah, sure. Just like go a little into the bush while the two of them figure that out.
Not too far.
All right. Yeah, not too far. Not far enough to fall in a pit trap and die. I got you.
That's right.
All right. So you're looking for interesting plants in particular.
Interesting plants and any sign of these flowers in the very near area. Kind of
Alright.
doubt it, but you know.
Would that be investigation or just a nature check? Do you figure?
Or perception to see if we spot anything.
Yeah. I'd buy perception on that. Give me a stealth check, Amorous. There's no way that's enough. That's not gonna pass passive.
I'm just gonna smack her hand. Stop it.
Oh, that's great.
You do this every time I do a ritual. Go away.
I just grab Amaris by the scruff and put her on top of Raptor.
Silver.
Silver.
His name's Silver. You let me
I
name
love
it.
silver.
Away.
Kerr let me name it. Amaris named it. His name is Silver.
What's name is Silver?
The Raptor.
The raptor.
The Raptor. Okay.
The Raptor's called Silver. I
I
can't
thought it was
remember
bronze.
what...
Amorous is just
It
sitting
probably
on
is.
the raptor now, and you watch as Sunny comes out from Amoris's bag and just jumps on top of Silver's head and gives out excited peeps at being tall.
All right. Ascan, you find you find a couple of interesting things. You find a tree with gray bark and soft olive green leaves that grow horizontal to the ground and then double back at like towards the tree. You recognize it as a tree known for having particularly hard wood.
Is this
Sort
an
of,
ironbark?
not quite, but certainly a relative.
Huh.
It's called a suth.
Oh, neat.
Its tree, like its wood is occasionally used for building, but because of how hard it is to work with, not usually. If you were specifically trying to build some kind of like palisade, maybe you'd use suth wood. It's also used for book covers and wooden shields.
Nice.
Since once it's dry, you can
Book
soak it in
covers?
water, which will book covers. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want a really tough book.
Want a really tough book.
I just imagine a
You say
crazy
that 'cause you blow
tabaxi
up
who
all
uses
your
a book on a
books.
stick.
I mean, if you're gonna make a spell book, you might as well make it covered in something that'll, last.
Yeah.
Askin just blows not Askin. Dacio just blows everything up. That's dirty books.
That is a complete and utter lie. Sometimes I just set them on fire.
It's really nice fire too.
You also find a thorny bush with gray-green leaves that you know for sure this one won't kill you. It can be made into a mildly stimulating tea.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Can I harvest some of that?
Give me another nature check. It is covered in thorns.
Yeah,
so...
I know. I am going to ask my god for guidance as well, because I don't want to get stung. Don't want to get pricked by
Loud voice
thorns.
says, "Why do I give a fuck?" But sure. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so apparently my god gives a fuck. So that's a total
Yeah,
of a 20 in
right.
nature.
Yeah, you successfully harvest. Enough to make 1 cup of tea.
And what was the name of these leaves?
Prickly tea.
Cool.
Would you want a description of pie?
The weird shit he's picking up.
Oh,
Just for
yeah, sure.
out of character notes.
Whoops, not just gonna copy the entire goddamn block.
Zio, what did you call the drone?
Fuck, what was it? Give me a minute, I have to remember.
I'm terrible. You could name it Hi Ho because it flies.
Alright, anybody else doing stuff while the ritual commenceth?
I'm just keeping an eye out on the area on the road we came from, because we're like right beside the road, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just keeping an eye out for, out of the ordinary shit. Also making sure that our little kobold friend doesn't get into any trouble.
With
That's
stealth
probably
like that.
the bigger part, yes.
You'd think 10 minutes was a short period of time.
It's a short period of time, but you can still get in a lot of trouble. But I'm just sitting on silver right now, so everything's fine.
Given how durable the rest of the tree is, with proper, what's the word? Proper preparation, you may be able to use them for paper. That's about it, I think.
Okay.
Or possibly to like patch things up, like if you found some way to harden it a bit. But yeah, it probably dries into something approximately comparable to like a thick paper. So yes, what I'm saying is you can make a book entirely out of Sith parts.
Is that where the phrase "forsooth" came from?
I don't think so, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Pot, you agree?
All right. Sorry. Archie, could you give me a perception check as you,
Sure thing.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
15.
All right. Well, you successfully see Amherst trying to get into the bag and getting slapped away from it.
That
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
take much.
Yeah. Beyond that, there's not a lot going on. You see some squirrels. Maybe not very much just like squirrels, butterflies. Occasional. You see wildlife that you're not familiar with because you're not quite from this area. You're
Yeah.
way further south than you guys used to be.
And to be fair, I'm
so,
also a tinkerer, so the amount of time I spend out in the wild is probably next to none.
I mean, you did model your raptor on like a dinosaur.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Kind of.
Probably from a
Although-
book.
Kicking.
yeah, I mean they are still around in this setting, but they're significantly further south than you are.
Uh-huh. I mean,
Like,
it's
down
either
below.
I saw it in a book or someone came into town with a freaking raptor pet, and I took a liking to it and decided to use that as inspiration. Though,
Yeah.
to be fair, I think most of the mechanical movements of it were more based on the chickens that were more readily accessible to me.
Oh gosh, does its head stay perfectly still as it moves?
Yes.
Oh my god, I love
That's
it.
why Sunny can be on the head.
Oh my gosh, that's really good. Yeah, like you notice that the blackbirds of the area have iridescent feathers here instead of the like mat where you were from. That's about it.
I want feathers. I can do so
You-
much with that.
Is that
Feathers?
true?
No. It's just decoration. I'm a tinkerer. I see iridescent feathers, and it's like, ooh, imagine the crafts I could do with that.
Yeah, legit. I can make macaroni pictures.
That's a waste of food.
Oh, it's true.
I think my creations are a bit more complex than macaroni pictures, thank you very much. Macaroni masterpieces, maybe.
Alright, so Lord. Alright. So 10 minutes passes. What does the ritual look like? Dacio.
Like a setup or when it's in use?
When it's in use.
Shit, that's a good question.
Like, do you just
Uh,
do divination by holding up a stick and then dropping it and seeing which way it falls, or
10 minutes.
No, I imagine it as a large circle with either drawn circles in it. I am so tempted to just get a picture. I don't know how easy that would be to put up on stream, though. How easy would it to be? Wait, oh my god, words. How easy would it be if I sent a picture and then like upload it to Discord and then put it up on stream?
I can see if the link will actually work on Roll20. Post it. Hold on, let me try something. Why does it not
That's
load the
Earl.
image? But
It
like,
loaded up fine for me.
really?
Yeah, why did you load Earl?
Because I wanted to
he's
see
a
if
good
it would
boy.
load, but I can't. It doesn't load for me. That's
That's weird, because it loads for me.
and I'm the one streaming, so.
Yeah, so that's an incredibly good boy. I'm gonna post the link in the chat so that everybody knows what a good boy that good boy
Oh
is.
man, the lighting is great.
Yeah,
That was him while we were playing earlier.
it's a very dramatic little fluff.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was sprawled in front of me and threatening to roll onto the keyboard as he usually does. Yeah, other than that, I think I'd have to save it and put it up. I'm not sure why it doesn't load for me. There's some things that load and some things that don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, if that's too much of a hassle, we can just move on.
Or just
I mean, or I can just like use words like an adult, but apparently I can't do that.
Up to
Words
you.
are hard.
Yeah, I've stumbled over like everything I've said this session.
So basically, imagine a large circle and inside of it having small, flat-ish stones. Like, they'd almost be good for skipping, except for, like, there's a point on most of them. So, if you take a toothpick-sized stick, but it doesn't actually have to be that straight, and balance it on one of them, it will point in a direction, and then you can keep moving it to different stones, so that the whole circle encompasses the 5 miles, so that you have, oh, is this, from where I am, north by northeast, and how far away?
So you kind of like triangulate it out from that.
Yeah, basically.
Cool. That's some advanced mathematics. All right.
or as Sho
So-
puts it, magic echolocation.
Which is not really right. I'm not
Yeah, I know.
sure that's okay. All right. So you do that whole thing, and it does look super cool. Damarcos is taking notes the whole time. Whether they're legible enough for him to read tomorrow, we'll see. But that's life. There does appear to be something that is commonly perceived as an ASMR rose about 2.5 kilometers away from where you are. Like straight about northwest out into the bush.
I tell the rest of the group this because this is not echolocation.
Okay.
Look, all I see is a bunch of sticks and rocks. So you're saying
We
it
did magic
worked?
stuff, and now we know where to go. Okay.
Amaris, wait for the rest of the group.
Every kobold we play is exactly the same. Boof.
I am lost on these people.
I am wasted on these people.
Yo.
No, I am wasted on potions of my own creations.
I'm not going
Alright.
anywhere. I'm still on silver.
Well, I'm glad that worked because none of us are rangers, so we'd be lost in the woods in like 5 minutes. Let's go.
Well, we can still do. We can still be lost in the woods
we
in 5
definitely
minutes.
could.
Yeah.
Let's see how long we can walk straight for.
Sure.
It's not going to be long.
No.
We immediately wander off and run into a tree.
Yeah, who's taking the lead here?
I mean, I think I'd be in the back going, no, a little bit to the left.
Okay, does it give you like a consistent sense of where it is, or just the indication that
believe
one
so.
time?
The indication that one time, and I probably have like a sketch of what the stone map looked like, so that
Oh.
we don't have to
I have an
rely
idea.
on
I'll send my
scribbly,
drone up.
wiry ASMR.
I mean, he's a tiefling.
Whatever.
Yeah, the other one.
Fuera. I'll send my drone up to like go in the direction that Dacio said it was.
All right.
And then we'll follow it. So if we have
So
to
we
go,
set the drone on point.
yeah, we set the drone because the drone can fly over the trees, so it can go in a direct line even if we can't.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, and you can see through its eyes basically. And all
Yeah,
that,
so
right?
I can basically steer us through the like if we get off course.
All right. Well, that will successfully bypass you some survival checks.
That's clever.
That is a good solution, actually. I do appreciate that, even if I forgot that you had a flying drone. You do eventually come across a river it looks fairly deep, probably about 50 feet across. And please don't call me on the fact that I keep switching between imperial and metric units.
It's
Um,
Canada.
I'm from Canada.
That's a Canada thing. It
Yeah.
actually is.
You're all just lucky that I'm measuring distance in kilometers and not saying how many minutes it would take to get there by car. So
Minutes makes so that's how we
It's-
do shit.
it's 60 minutes away. Easy. Anyway,
Joke,
um,
but that's actually how it works around here.
yeah. Alright, so between about halfway there, there's a deep rushing river, about 50 feet across. What would you guys like to do?
50 feet across, you say?
I
Yes.
don't want to lose all of my oxen, is what I want to do.
The length of 5-10 feet poles.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of them
Do we
broke?
see any way that is safe to pass that doesn't require getting wet?
Do you want to give me a perception check?
Yes.
We'll put a hand on her shoulder and guide her.
If you'd offer to aid
Chris
her,
doesn't swim, so she really wants to find a way
Yeah.
to get across.
oh my gosh.
18!
18.
I don't think my raptor can swim either.
It can just walk. Oh wait, Rust.
Yeah.
Wait.
Also,
How deep?
It's a rushing
I mean,
river.
you're not really sure, but it looks pretty deep. Why
If
would
I stick my head in it,
That's a good point.
how deep does it look?
Oh, yeah.
about 10-15 feet. You can breathe in more. Great. Okay.
I'm a Triton. What did you
You're
want from
a
me?
Triton.
We have
Yeah,
a
you're
Triton
right.
and a water genasi. Like, I'm not sure what you were expecting on that side. And
You know what? Let's try my
Then we have
best here.
the rusty chicken.
then we have the rusty chicken. Raft? There.
Oh, right. I didn't actually answer Amorous' question.
Oh.
Sorry. There's not a convenient path of rocks, especially not close enough for you to get across. Sorry. There. We regret saying these goddamn words out my mouth, but there is a
Yes.
really big tree right by the river.
Is it 50
Looks
feet
like-
tall?
It's about 60.
Is there another tree that's conveniently on the other side of the river that has branches coming from the other side?
No?
No, we could always try and cut it down.
Wait, so is this
But-
just one tree, or is there like three, just in case the first one fails to be cut in the proper?
Direction.
No, this isn't Breath of the Wild,
Damn it!
but thank you.
I was just thinking of trees on both sides of the river and jumping across branches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
that's
a
what I was
look.
wondering.
There was one, like, I mean, it's not that out of place. This is It's
Forest.
been like 300 years since this place got entirely screwed up by magic users, so. Some of the branches of a lot of the trees are kind of gnarly and weird looking, but it's a functional forest. Things here. Places where a lot of magic has been expelled tend to grow slightly larger creatures. Yeah, it's a really big tree. Do you guys have bad ideas?
Oh yes, I have plenty of them.
Relevant
mean-
bad ideas?
We could.
Yes,
Possibly.
I
What?
wanted to know what was living in the river.
I guess you did look down there.
Oh.
Alright. Okay, inside the river, you've got. Let's say it's a sandy bottomed river. You can see a lot of sediment deposit and all that fun stuff. So you can reasonably determine there's some life in that sand there, eating whatever falls in. Nothing immediately tries to bite your face, which frankly would have been hilarious if I'd thought of it.
Yeah, all right.
You can see. I mean, fantasy equivalent to trout, basically. Trout. Where are you? Actually, yeah. All right. You can see some trout. You can see a couple of fish with strange appendages bullet to the side of their body. And if you look above the river every once in a while, you'll see one of them breach and actually glide for a little bit. Not quite flying, but close.
So flying fish.
Yes.
No,
big are
the
they?
glidey fish.
They're gliding.
Yeah,
It's not actually flying unless you can do it sustainably.
right. But flying fish in real life are called flying fish, even though they don't fly. They just
I know when that's wrong.
They just fall with style.
yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
How big are they? The flying fish, you mean?
Yes.
Probably about the length of your forearm.
I bet they're yummy.
You can't throw one like a football, if that's what you're wondering.
No, I wasn't going to ask that. I was wondering how big they were in case we could, like, surf across one of them.
That's dumb.
How?
Like
I'm
what do
sorry,
you
did
think?
you want to swim across?
No! I don't want to touch the water.
Also, I don't think they can hold a
I
mechanical
know.
servitor.
Well, that's just too bad for your mechanical servitor.
I don't
Absolutely.
medium.
think they can hold your fat butt either.
Excuse
Oh.
me.
You heard
I
me.
don't need them to hold my, as you call it, fat butt. I'm
One last-
amphibious. I
one
can
last
swim
thing.
and breathe.
One last thing below the surface of the water, you can see a lot of really sparkly stuff on the bottom, kind of across the entire bed of the river.
Oh, sparkly, like, what color sparkly?
So I was trying to think of the path of this river. Probably like mostly white, a few glimpses of red.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Why did I never actually look at the fucking trait and racial abilities? Good lord. I didn't know that you were fucking Aquaman.
I mean,
Don't
Hey,
worry,
and I
Garm.
can-
I'm just a human.
Fuck. No, you can't make a
I'm
bridge
a
of
token human.
you can't make a bridge of crocodiles or whales or dolphins.
All right.
Well-
So the main thing I'm seeing here is we could cut down that tree and maybe have it fall across the river, and use that to cross.
How will we stop it from flowing down the river?
it's 60 feet across.
Yeah,
If we did that,
it'll
Then-
go down, but it'll strike a tree, and that'll keep
Amherst
it.
takes a few steps back away from Archie and the tree.
The real problem is making sure that the cut is made in such a way that it actually falls
that
where
it
we
falls
want
in
it
the
to.
right direction.
Because if it falls up or down river, then we just lose it.
Rip.
But it's a tree. It's got a shit ton of branches, so it'll catch.
Hey, Garm, I have a dumb question.
Yes.
He's so happy about that.
Considering the class Amorous is, and the fact that she has to basically know how to take her shots at very specific angles in order to get them to bounce where she wants, would she have an idea of how you would have to cut this tree in order to make it go in the correct angle we want it to fall without fucking it up?
Absolutely, yeah.
Please know she's probably not strong enough to cut this thing, and she doesn't have weapons to cut this thing. So
Oh,
have
that's
fun with
fine.
that.
I've got a woodworker axe right here.
How do you? Okay.
I mean, it's probably just clamped to the side of the raptor.
I just pull my hand inside the raptor and come out with the.
Like, that's our storage area.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna think about that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so we've Batman and Aquaman in this party.
Yes, actually. The token human. No superpowers.
I have no superpowers, but I've got a tool belt that basically has anything I want in it.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
medical.
Yeah, okay. Alright. So it's
Yeah. Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
it's wood chopping time then.
Wood chopping time.
Amherst is going to point out the places you should cut it in order to make sure it doesn't fall in the wrong direction too soon.
Hey, hey, Garm.
Yes, my friend.
Did you have an answer to my very well articulated question?
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I didn't realize that was a question. Honestly. I thought you were just letting me know. The response you get is swim harder. You're asking fishes. What did you expect?
Yeah.
But what if no can swim?
Oh my god, you can talk to fish.
Yes.
Yeah. They suggest walking along the bottom if possible.
I mean, yeah.
That's genius. Clearly, I'll find bamboo reeds or straws. This'll be fine.
That are at least 15 feet tall.
Listen.
I don't know. I might have that in my tool belt.
You can't store something that's 15 feet long in a goddamn, like,
It just says
5
as long as
foot
it's
long.
not magical.
God damn it. Alright.
It's
Oh my
it's
God.
got a telescope.
You have
It's
Mary Poppins
telescoping.
suitcase.
It's telescoping, obviously.
Archie, give me a strength check with advantage.
All right.
We're cutting down
have
the
some
tree.
guidance, too.
18.
Or I gave you guidance too. Because, prayer.
How many
Plus
times
3.
can you do that, Dave?
It's
As much
cantrip,
as he
it's at will.
wants.
Give me as much as until I stop it.
21.
Yes.
I mean, there's that.
Look, it's better than a raptor of holding because I can basically pull out anything I need from it.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. I'll give you that. Alright, you managed to chop down the tree with relative ease, enough that you're not going to have to take a level of exhaustion or anything from doing it. It's a fairly sizable tree.
Hmm.
After some cutting and coordination between you and the tiny child with guns, you eventually hear the loud cracking of the tree starting to come down, and
And I call out, "Timber!"
Back up, back up,
Yeah.
back up, back up.
scatter off to the side and with the loud it hits the river and the far bank, and like it sinks about halfway down into the mud on the other side before coming to a stop. Like, this thing is now firmly embedded.
Sweet. So we just created a bridge.
Mhm.
Yeah. You're lucky there's no bees in that tree, I will say.
Or
I'd
anything
like to stick
else.
my head back in the river and tell
Yeah.
them, see? Now can cross if no swim.
You see a flying fish roll its eyes at you and like waggle its wings underwater, and then
Jump out of the water and immediately get caught in a branch.
Yeah, run into the tree.
oh,
I was expecting it to go towards Dacia, wait for his head to go out, and then splash him in the face because he's an idiot.
I'm probably
Well.
sure one of the other one did.
yeah, absolutely. Monsters, every one of you.
Oh.
Look, I'm
did it get
trying-
caught?
Monster?
I'm trying not to think of the consequences of cutting down a freaking 300-year-old tree just across the river.
Let's not think about that, shall we?
Amaris isn't thinking about that. She's just walking across this bridge. Now
Uh,
she doesn't have to get wet.
Did what get caught, Ascan?
The flying fish that jumped.
Oh, no, they're good. Don't worry, they're happy. I mean,
Okay,
it'll happen
was-
at some point, but
I was gonna say, because
No,
if it
no.
did, I would just use shape water to manipulate the water up, grab the fish, and then just drag it back into the water.
Are you kidding?
I
I
mean,
would grab
this
it
is-
so I could eat it.
No.
This is
If it's dumb
probably
enough to
like
get caught.
their new fishy hazing ritual of can you jump the bridge?
I buy it, yeah.
Are any
You
of
should
them
put your head back
jumping
in and say swim
fries
harder
so I can
again.
Try and catch one for a snack.
No.
You're a monster, yes.
I'm not
You're
giving you guidance for this.
gonna have to give me a dexterity check to try and catch this thing, though.
Are you
I'm willing
always
to try
hungry?
it. Well, watch me
She's a-
fall in the water.
It's a growing kobold.
I I believe Emrys went first. I am gonna start crossing carefully and chopping off the branches that are facing upwards to make it easier to cross.
Yeah,
15
Alright.
to try and catch a dumb fish.
you successfully catch a fish.
Yes! Amaris just hops across the rest of the tree, very proud of herself.
Yeah, alright.
She has a snake now.
Yeah, you sure do, and it's wriggling like hell in your hand.
She takes a bite out of it.
It's a very satisfying crunch.
So is Dacio able to hear the screams?
Probably.
I
Hey, better them than me.
okay.
Listen, you just gotta drown it out after a while. Ha!
Alright.
Drown, get it?
It's funny because you can't drown. Wait, can you? No, you can't. You're trading.
No, I literally can't.
So we make it safely across?
Yeah, with the aid of your little drone servitor thing, you manage to avoid the nastier parts of the forest, like the more tangled up. It's basically you manage to keep to game paths and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
For one second. Yeah. Okay. Eventually, yes, you do make it to where where there is an Asimar rose. You still have to look around for it, don't you?
Yeah,
No,
we
I-
knew the direction. We knew more or less the distance.
But we
Honestly,
know
that's
exactly where.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I am not risking another 10 minutes for Amaris to look through my bags.
that's fair.
She's busy.
She has food now, she's fine.
It's true.
Yeah,
Do
that's
some
what
of
she
y'all-
wants you to think.
Do some of y'all want to give me some nature checks? See if you can find yourself a
Anybody want
plant
to
and
eat?
not die.
I'll try looking. I don't think we have
I'll try
anyone in
looking.
the party who is trained in nature, so this is gonna be.
Excuse me.
We do, actually.
I
I
am.
think Amaris is more looking for mushrooms she can eat, though.
All right.
I mean, you
You
need
definitely
something to
find
balance
mushroom.
out the fish.
I got a 17.
I got a 23.
I have a +4.
So do I.
All right.
Pat, 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 pie.
I haven't rolled above a 4 in nature yet.
Amaris, you find mushrooms. Congratulations. Ask again. You. It's partially inside a bush, but you do you push some leaves aside, and you find a silvery pink rose with incredibly intricate, strange leaves that seem to coil and twist in ways that are unnatural, let's say.
Huh.
And it looks approximately like the description that you were given.
Cool. I would like to very carefully put it in an herbalist kit.
All right. Yeah, and I don't know if
It's
Damocos actually
only-
came with you. Suppose he would have. And he looks at it and goes, "That's it. That's an SMR rose."
There's only
So-
one.
Yeah,
Um,
but
As you continue searching around that bush, you can find some more strewn about it. You come across. Hold on.
ooh.
You find 6 more.
So 7 total. Woof.
Yes.
Cool. Yes, they're all very carefully and delicately getting put into an herbalism kit.
Yeah, and Damocos helps you with that, and he's like, I can't believe you found so many. It took me a year just to find one.
Well,
This is most wonderful.
I've been gathering herbs for quite a while, just in general.
Indeed, I can see that. Did you folks were headed back to Goldendale, weren't you?
Yep.
That's where I live. I could help show you the way back there. We might be able to get there a bit quicker than going all the way back to the road.
Sure.
Do we trust
Alright.
him?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
inside him, just to make sure. Like, to make sure he's
Alright.
not planning on, like, murdering us and taking all of the
No,
places
I
for
don't
himself.
mean that. I mean, I don't trust that he can find his own way home.
That's a... You know what? Yeah, okay.
Has he been looking for these flowers for a year because he hasn't been able to find his way home in a year?
No.
That was a very sad and unsure no.
Alright, he seems legit.
Okay.
I'm just a weird little plant nerd.
I can respect weird little plant nerds. Especially when they have things that have
Especially
healing
when you
properties
want
like
one.
this.
I was
All
gonna
right.
say, I'll offer to split. If we weren't already splitting the flowers half, I will offer to actually teach him the locate plant ritual.
And for that, yeah, alright, for that you guys can take 4 of the plants then.
Okay.
This
Ha!
will be
Now that doctor
multiple.
can't smack me again.
What? Was I gonna?
Sorry?
Who was trying to smack you?
The doctor, after I may have blown up the second lab.
Wait.
That was
You
Tim.
were the one who blew up Tuka's lab?
Shit!
Wait, you didn't know that? I knew that. I saw him running away.
It was
You
pretty
saw
loud.
nothing.
Glare. Do you know
Wait,
how
you're
many
the one-
poultices I made in that lab?
I mean, I will point out you're the one who told me to be quiet, and then you decided to tell Ascan, so the deal's off.
Well, I thought he already figured it out.
I was.
You know,
It was
But
fairly
kinda slow,
obvious.
remember?
yeah, I thought he was smart.
I was
There's a difference.
repressing it because that was a lot of work.
There's a lot of difference between smart and wisdom. They're
It's true.
They're two different stats.
For Amorous, they aren't.
I only have a 3-point difference between the two of them. Thank you.
Good lord. Alright. Do you guys want to take a break before we get to Goldendale? Or...
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Alright.
All right, so we'll go on break.
Yeah, and just... Do you want me to do the spiel?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, and before we go on break, first off, we would just like to thank all of the people who back us on patreon.com/Midgardia. Thanks to the money that we receive through that, we can reinvest that in, well, first off in keeping the DMs alive, but also in, books and materials to do this kind of stuff. It allows us to put the time aside to prepare all of these sessions and run all this kind of stuff. I don't have the list of our patrons right now. I will figure that out. And if you like what we do here, you can support us either on patreon.com, as I said, patreon.com/Midgardia. You can subscribe to us on twitch.tv/Midgardia for $5 USD a month, which also gets you a fancy little Princess Casavia emote.
Or Twitch
What else?
Prime.
Or Twitch Prime. Yes, if you have Amazon Prime, you can link that to your Twitch account, which will get you 1 free subscription per month. And if you really like what we do, you can also donate to us on PayPal. There's a donate link on our Twitch page. It's just below where you'll see these broadcasts. And we will be back in just a couple of minutes. I'd just like to say thank you to Shomaru, Kelly Froese, Jorg Mir, Pyrolytic, Jesus Mendoza, Sayoko Hawkeye, and Kaora from Blue Sword Games. I really hope I pronounced all of your names right. If I didn't, please yell at me in the YouTube comments, and I'll get it right next time.
Proceeds to go
Definitely.
to comments, yell at you.
Yeah, alright. I
Almost.
was gonna say, I definitely hope I got, Pyrolytic, Sayoko Hawkeye, and Shomaru right.
Yeah.
Is it Hawken?
Yes.
Shit. There go talking.
I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like you two have been friends for ages or anything.
Good job. We didn't even get our friends' names right.
Rip.
Sorry for screwing up your totally real last name. Anyway,
It's easier to say than your real name.
it's true. Thankfully, I don't have one. It's been stricken from existence. Anyway, so you guys successfully make it back, make it to the small town of Goldendale. It's small. Small is a good way to describe it. It's a farming village. It's like 100, maybe 200 people.
That's a
Compared,
shit ton compared to what we're
Compared
used to
to
now.
us, yeah.
yeah, I
well,
was gonna say
compared to-
compared to what we had before we had to run for our lives.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's like a mid-size. Like that's also counting all of the outlying houses and stuff, not just
Yeah.
like all the outlying farms and everything. Once you get there, Domikos says that he's heading off to his lab. He hopes you can find what you're looking for here in town. There's a few things here. There's an inn that you can find fairly easily. It's a place known as the Splinted Leg. There's a general store. In the distance, you can hear the hammering of a blacksmith. Somewhere around the edge of town, and farms as well. Many farms. Although I doubt you'll find much of interest there. Please don't prove me wrong. Please don't steal their wheat. They need that.
What? Why would we...
What kind of races do we see walking around? Like, how much do we stick out?
Yeah.
Significantly.
Well,
There's
except Archie.
except for Archie, yes. Although Archie's unusually curly hair is anyway.
Unusual?
And yes, well, you know what?
Getting some curious looks.
Yeah.
I'm sure the mechanical raptor following me around gets more looks.
Yeah, that's probably drawing most of the attention. There's a few Ganassi kicking around, mostly Air Ganassi around here.
Oh.
Given how far south you guys are.
Yep.
Air Ganassi, it's a majority human settlement, as most are. One or two Fire Ganassi. No tieflings aside from Domikos himself. I think that's about it.
So no cousins, got it.
No cousins.
Is
Yes.
there anything like in the town square area, like a billboard board area with like where they put local information or whatever? Maybe at the tavern?
In like a quest board?
No,
Question.
I was more thinking of like a news board or something like that.
Like, announcement, don't
Yeah.
eat this.
No, it's a small enough place that you'd probably have to ask around at the tavern or at the general store to get the news.
Okay.
You don't see any kobolds, no.
Where would I be likely to find other alchemists aside from the little walking stick figure we were just with?
I wouldn't describe him as little, but
He's a stick figure.
probably I'm not sure how many you'd even find around here. The reason you had a couple in your previous village is because you guys could produce gunpowder for the capital. Out here, aside from Domikos, you'd be more likely to find a strange druid with a mortar and pestle than a proper alchemist. You know, the sort of person who dries out 30 different herbs, throws them in the bowl, and then just goes, ah!
Are you saying I don't do that?
I'm
So
saying you
country
should.
alchemist.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, I want to. If we have free time, I want to wander around and see if I can find any other formulas and trade for some.
We will come back to that. Oh,
Text
formula.
for you
Yeah.
for later. It can be
Thank
figured out in between sessions, but
Yeah. All right. Sure. So yeah, there's not much here.
So
It's a tiny place.
it seems like the tavern would be like the spot for information gathering and
potential jobs.
yeah.
And there is also a meeting hall and a small shrine. Those are the other two things.
A shrine?
Buddy.
Ooh, shrine.
To whom?
How busy does the meeting hall look?
First off, you'd have to go investigate the shrine to really figure that out, and also
I would like to.
All right, the meeting hall does not. The meeting hall does not look particularly busy at this time.
Okay.
It looks like the kind of place that functions approximately equivalently as like a actual meeting place and as everything really. Everything that isn't done in the tavern is probably done in the meeting hall.
Mm-hmm.
You have two choices of where to get married. One is the bar.
It's the more popular one.
It's probably the more popular one, yes.
All right.
So you guys want to check out the shrine?
Yes.
All right. It's nothing particularly impressive. It's a small open air shrine amid a small copse of trees. It's give me a religion check. Ask
Okay.
Religion's a skill in this edition, right?
Oh.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
A 24.
Yeah, that's a 24.
Yeah.
Okay. We've talked about the religions of this place a little bit in the last session, but more or less each of them are like it's mostly centered around the four elements, with each like individual manifestation getting some kind of name, whether an appellation or just a fairly straightforward like the phoenix being the symbol of rebirth kind of thing. In this case, it's Mynist, Mynist, who is a manifestation of the element of earth, specifically the elements related to agriculture.
Farming.
Yeah. Agriculture, like the life-giving nature of earth, and that kind of thing. You recognize the symbols. You have some. Being that close to the capital, you probably saw one or two worshippers. You know what their priests are known as shepherds generally. Any other questions about it?
No, but I would like to burn some incense at it. Just
Okay.
kind of as a respectful thing.
Yes. Fine.
I'd like to donate one of my candles to the shrine because I have a lot of them.
All right.
Please, not one of them that explodes.
No, I'll give him one of the nice ones.
Okay.
Excellent.
Not one of like the little stubby ones either that we use for like birthdays.
Sorry, I'm just imagining a little like 8-1 that you were actually saving for Amorous' next birthday.
Aww.
Yes.
Oh my god. That's clearly why I keep a dagger on me. It's not for fighting, it's for like molding these weird candles and my wax bricks.
Hell yeah.
I could totally see you having an 8 made of like a fish, like in
Oh
wax.
god. By the way, I do have now 19 candles and 9 pounds of wax bricks. I used to have 20 candles.
Horrifying. Oh,
man.
yeah, one other thing. There is a large hill on the southern edge of town. You can see dotted with old, like, gravestones and bowls.
And I'm sorry, what?
It's a burial mound, is what it is. You can tell that easy enough.
Yeah.
So, what would you guys like to do now that you have paid your worship to Mynist?
I will head to the tavern.
All right.
What time of day is it?
You guys spent. I assume you guys head out in the morning, so it's probably sometime around noon, which means this tavern is probably about as busy as it ever gets.
Mm-hmm. And how busy is that?
There's a good 20 or 30 people in there. uh, clientele, at least, which, yeah, you guys can still manage to get a table.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place that's built to hold, weddings and stuff when the need comes around, which, yeah, every once in a while. Anyway, yeah, there's a good somewhere between 20 and 40 people in there, plus the a couple of barmaids, and also an old man sitting in. You notice an old man sitting in the corner. He's missing about just shot wings. Yeah, all right. They're triplex. They're duplex bow weddings is what they are here.
Crossbow weddings.
Yeah.
Slingshot weddings.
Slingshot wedding. Good lord. Anyway, the clientele are mostly hardy, farmerly sorts. The people who may have come into town on business from the outlying areas and decide to treat themselves to, some nice, some food that was prepared by somebody else's hands for a change, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Any any people wearing like heavy hoods, being really dramatic in the corner, or I don't know, a gnome that looks like he's ready to scam some coin.
You have been reading too many adventure books, Archie.
I mean, you
That
say
just
that.
happens in the books.
But
I mean,
However, comma.
there is an older man in the corner, not like hooded and scowling, but he's sitting off to the side at a table by himself. You can see some scars running across his face, and you can also see that he's got a crutch leaned up against his table. That's probably about the most unusual person there.
I don't know, that
Second
seems
most unusual.
really usual for a tavern in a dinky village.
Do I see anyone in this tavern who is carrying, say, guns? Do we see anyone at all who has firearms? Emrys is curious.
They're not that common outside of the capital area, but given how many people dispersed, there may be. Yeah, there's probably about one person with a rifle slung across his back drinking at the bar. That would be the second
Emrys is
most
paying
unusual
attention
person
to
here.
that person.
Bill, they're
They allowed weapons in the bar?
It's a small
She wants
town.
to go talk to them. She's like,
But-
they have weapons. They have guns. Do you all?
Did they look like the adventuring type?
Closer to a hunter, I guess.
Okay.
They're the sort of clothes they're wearing are very obviously traveling clothes.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably have a horse in the local stable somewhere. Probably just going from town to town.
Selling the
So it's bold of you to think anything is pre-planned to that extent.
yeah, I know.
Not to
Right.
mention, show. Emrys is just looking around. Of course, she's going to notice the person with guns and be interested in that.
Oh yeah.
Somebody who looks, I guess, approximately like Nathan Fillion circa Firefly.
Shit, I don't want to go.
I was about to ask where's the cutest person in the bar, but never mind.
Yeah,
We did it.
seriously. Now I'm more
question
interested in going
answered.
Yeah.
We did it, Reddit.
Now we just need to get Nathan Fillion to play the part.
Hopefully then he will never listen to like the previous 5 minutes.
You're right.
Are people in the bar treating, or at least looking at Emrys like, oh, look at your little baby, or why do you have a gun?
Or both.
More wiser kobold here.
Yeah.
Everybody is politely not saying anything, kind of minding their own business. But
They're politely
They're probably thinking
in a
it.
bar.
yeah,
Look,
It's
Ford-
too early. They're not that
Yeah,
drunk
it's
yet.
noon.
yeah,
It's only about
I'm
noon.
from America. That's not.
Uh-huh.
they're having some chicken and some nice ale.
the 3 giants come into the tavern, all with armors armor and weapons, followed by a tiny kobold. You really think they're gonna comment on the kobold out loud?
Yeah.
She has a gun!
So you
Two
didn't
guns,
bring the
one that's
raptor
as
in.
big as
Noted.
she is.
I didn't bring the raptor in with me. The raptor is outside with the horses.
Karu, please remember Amaris has a hunting rifle that's as big as she is, that she carries on her back.
Oh, I thought you carried that on Silver.
When we're traveling, yes, sometimes. It's back and forth. Matters how tired I am.
Anyway,
How safe is Silver out there with people staring at the weird walking raptor?
Is anyone gonna fuck with the weird walking raptor?
The raptor has telepathic communication with me. I think it's perfectly safe.
anyway, a couple of minutes after you guys sit down, a barmaid comes by with probably a trail of mugs of ale, because let's face it, what else do people come to a tavern for?
Yeah.
And says, hello, welcome to the Splinted Leg. What can I get for you? Can I interest you in some ale to start off?
Ale's fine, except the kobold.
Hey, I can have some.
No, you can't.
Yes, I
You can have some
Remember
cider.
the last time you drank ale?
Oh, cider's yummy. I'll have some cider.
The kobold, right. Yes, I'll bring you some cider in a
Hi,
minute.
I'm Amaris. Nice to meet you.
Hello, fuck.
That's a very interesting and straightforward name.
Shut up.
Very common name around
Human
here.
names D&D.
Herb, get used to Amaris doing this.
Yup.
Yeah, I know. You'd think I'd be used to it.
No.
It's
DM
not
tips
like
number
you've
1.
never done this.
Yep.
Name generator.
I know that I'm suffering what I have sown. Hi, I'm Lefra. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes. And she sets down the ales. I didn't even think what these guys would have on a menu. It's the usual fare for a farming community, honestly. Yeah, it's stew,
Or roast chicken.
roast chicken, maybe,
Pot pie or something.
yeah, probably pot pie. It's very standard, like, farmer community fare.
I mean, I'd honestly just go for whatever the meal of the day is, because that's probably going to be the tastiest thing.
It's chicken.
Oh, chicken. Oh!
I was gonna say,
What? Oh, yeah.
Sonny.
Get wrecked.
Betrayed
Where,
the squad.
wait, is Sunny with you?
I would have left Sunny safely with Silver so she doesn't get risking trampled in a very crowded tavern.
Or see
Or
you eating
eaten.
chicken.
Chicken.
She sounds so sad. That's great.
Alright, yeah. So,
Kobold! I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you want me to recreate the screams of the chicken for you?
Amaris
Brings-
just looks at Dacio at this and is like, you do realize they did slaughter chickens at the farm I worked at, right? I've heard that before. Doesn't mean I want Sunny to see me eating chicken, thank you very much.
That's true.
But
Thank
you're
you.
totally gonna eat chicken.
Chicken's delicious. I just don't want Sunny to know I'm eating it.
Alright, so after a moment, Lefra brings you back a small glass of cider.
Yay!
It's
Thank
a
you.
little. You're welcome. Can I interest you in any food?
Yeah,
And
we'll
yeah.
have whatever's warm.
Uh,
All right,
The special
back in
of the
just a couple of minutes. Whatever's warm. I mean, yeah, okay.
How good, or I was gonna say how nice is their water that they've made the ale from?
What kind of check would that be?
Probably a nature or a medicine.
Or survival, honestly.
Yeah.
Survival.
I think survival. Yeah, hit me up with a survival check there, Dacio.
I mean, they do
like,
at
oh,
least
great.
apparently have a pretty wide, deep river nearby that seems to be pretty...
Shit, man, it's water. It's turned into ale now. How would you know?
Oops.
Is that somebody choking on their water?
No.
No.
That was not very convincing.
It wasn't water.
It was tea.
Wow.
No.
What?
Your boiled grass?
Was it ale?
It's rum with Hawaii blue.
Nice.
Don't worry, it's not enough to affect me. Anyways.
It's okay. You're not DMing.
Yep.
Don't drink and DM, kids.
Or do drink in DM, kids.
Stay hydrated.
No, don't drink and DM, kids, because you're kids.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You are all terrible.
Whoops.
Anyway, yeah. After a couple of minutes, you're served with a fairly decent amount of chicken. It looks like it's thoroughly cooked, maybe a little burnt.
That's okay. Just gives it a little extra flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if it was raw, it wouldn't bother me at all.
For a medieval setting, you'd probably call it adequately spiced, although by our standards, it would probably not be nearly.
Seasoned like a Canadian chicken instead of what Karu sees as horribly under seasoned.
Yeah. This
Why
place
do-
probably has like 3 herbs. Sorry, Kurt?
My sheet has no money on it.
Yeah, because we have no money.
Yeah, you spent all of your money on that fucking Warhammer and your giant raptor.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Das, you're asking, who's paying for this?
You're gonna have to make me
Your
find my
guys'
other
league.
sheet, aren't you?
I mean, I didn't spend a ton of stuff. I got my.
I mean, this isn't
I
going to
got
cost
my
more than a
regular.
couple copper or silver at the most, but...
Yeah.
I know, I just didn't write it down on this sheet. I have to go find my Google Drive sheet.
I have no money.
Yeah, I know a couple of you have enough for this, so let's not worry about it right now.
Yeah.
But we do know who
Second-
it is not.
Yep.
Yeah, you can Venmo each other later. It's fine.
Second half of the session is just an exciting montage of
Dishwashing.
Amherst and Archie dishwashing.
Oh my god. That would be so great.
Dude.
Oh,
They would
it
have
really
to
would.
find a very high stool for Amherst to stand on.
Oh please. I could
And then
totally
she'd
just
get
shake
kicked
water.
out because she wouldn't shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the plates are about as big as Amorous.
Well, her head,
Ugh.
maybe.
Once you count the ears, yes. Anyway, you don't have to pick up a part-time job quite yet.
I mean, I thought
Isn't
that was
that
kind of
what
what we
we're
were here
here
for anyway.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Wrong
Well,
kind of part-time job.
Hopefully one that pays better than dishwashing.
I mean, if we get food like this, I don't think that's paid too bad.
after a few minutes, the barmaid comes back, holding the tray up against her chest, and she goes, "So how's everything tasting?"
Great.
Presumably, while one of you has your mouth full.
Yeah, Amherst is just like, delicious.
Close mouth, chew, swallow, then talk.
Suggestion.
Manners.
So, what's the news in this area?
It's well, sorry, words are hard.
They are.
Oh, the usual. Planting season has started. Why are you measuring the roof of the barn?
Because I'm bored.
Hey,
No one else
try
can
my
see,
best.
just you, Garm.
Oh, okay.
Way to point it out, though.
Just the planting season has started. How much money did you start out with? Not very much.
Like,
we can-
when
we can-
started character creation.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can get back to you about that at the end of the session.
Please.
Sorry. Planting season started. It's it seems to be a little bit harder than this year. A lot of people's tools are in disrepair. Um, Sorry, I need to look at a different window than what Zio's doing. I'll look at this picture of Earl from earlier instead. A lot of people's tools are in disrepair, and well, Julian, the blacksmith, has been trying his best, but he seems to be having a lot of difficulty with whatever he's been working on. It's been hard to get pretty much anything made out of metal, and she like points at some of your utensils, which are in fact like fairly jaggedly carved out of wood. The spoons mostly. Other than that, well, it's
Why the shortage of metal? I thought I heard the blacksmith hammer going.
yeah, he has been every night. We're not really sure.
Where do you guys usually get your iron?
Fuck.
Good job.
GG. You can't scavenge everything.
Just forage for some iron ore. It's cool.
I mean, there's ironwood trees around. Well, not really, but you know.
You
Yeah,
can't
it's
just
not-
like shovel a pathway to where iron is and then put it.
Usually trading caravans with some amount of iron pass through every year or so.
None this year?
Not so far. We did get, I believe Julian did get a sizable amount last year, but we haven't seen much in the way of anything from him since.
Have you had any merchants passing this way?
Very few. We are quite out of the way.
But less than normal, or like...
Fewer than normal since, well, whatever happened in the capital.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And Julian himself, the few times he's been in, seemed less talkative. Despondent's too big a word for a farmer.
Sad.
It's
Real sad.
real sad.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy. He's nice and all, but it seems like something's... I don't know what he's up to, but I don't know.
Well, maybe I'll pay him a visit.
Could you? We'd all appreciate it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, maybe he'd be willing to take a look at your axe there, make sure it can deal with soot. What was that?
Yeah,
Trees?
yeah.
Ah,
Since we may run into some more of those soot trees.
Well, they're quite sturdy.
Yeah, I wonder what applications they'd have for making tools and stuff like that.
I'm afraid that's a little beyond my expertise.
I was just thinking aloud.
If you did want to know, though, the owner, Yoris, and she points at the guy in the corner, might be able to tell you.
The owner of the Spar Tavern?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, well, thank you.
You're very welcome. I hope you enjoy your meal.
Yeah. After the trek through the forest, I think we're all hungry.
Yeah, it can be quite tough. And you hear somebody call in the background. She goes, "Oh, I've got to go.
Mhm.
It's a pleasure talking with you."
Same here.
All right.
God, I bet he has a dimpled smile.
oh,
Sorry.
And she probably.
You're gonna
was.
make her fall for you.
Yep.
What?
Archie probably has a dimpled smile.
Yeah, you're probably right. You don't need to seduce the barmaid quite yet.
Not on purpose, but
He wasn't trying to.
he's not. I was gonna say exotic, but
Curly hair.
Curly hair, yeah.
Curly, isn't it reddish hair?
Reddish curly hair.
oh no, it's a redhead.
Freckled
Yeah.
face.
Rip.
Rounded cheeks. Green
Truly a real
eyes.
looker.
Dang it, I'm prettier and you know it.
So you guys eat your solidly adequate food.
Uh-huh.
It's solidly adequate.
Awesome.
Nice.
It fills the tummy.
Yep.
It does the job.
Amherst finds it absolutely delicious.
And will totally not tell her Sunny how good her meal
Nope.
was.
Nope, not at all.
Does Sunny know what cooked chicken smells like?
Birds have awful sense of smell.
Good to
What's
know.
that?
They can probably still smell KFC from a mile away. I know I sure can.
You can smell KFC in a city, period.
Yeah.
It's kind of disgusting.
Across the city limits, you're like, there's a K-fry near here.
Ugh.
Anyway, so what would you guys like to do once you wrap up your meal and pay for it and then Venmo each other the money?
Well, we're here to try to find a job. It doesn't seem like we're gonna find one here. Kind of curious about what the blacksmith might have to say about procuring iron. I
Yeah.
know I'm gonna need more iron sooner
I should
rather
point
than
out-
later.
Because
If
if
they're
we
having...
help the best,
Sorry?
I was gonna say because if we help the blacksmith out, perhaps he will at the very least give, consider giving us a discount, since I'm sure we'll either need to repair or, build something.
Yeah. I mean, I believe we have a blacksmith back home, but he does not have a current blacksmith area. Cause
And I
Isn't
mean,
that Hobbs?
yes,
Hobbs
yes,
is a butcher.
Hobbs the Loud.
I thought he was a butcher.
Wait,
Yeah.
I was gonna say wait, no,
Right.
he was more vicious than that.
Yeah.
No, loud as hell blacksmith.
Oh,
Nope,
okay.
alright.
Yep,
The blacksmith
Hobbs.
is Hobbs.
Hobbs is the blacksmith. He's
Yeah,
a
why
bit.
not both?
Yeah, why can't we just have a quiet blacksmith that just does his work?
Just fry some eggs on top of your forge. It's fine. Cool.
I think the loud part is because he's slightly deaf from the ringing of the.
Yes. Right. Yes. Slightly deaf from the rave. So he just yells at everybody.
I have that written down in my notes.
Thank you. I appreciate your commitment to Sparkle Motion.
Though not the details, this is my notes exactly. Hobbs, loud as hell blacksmith.
Yeah, legit. Alright. So do you guys want to go and bother in the blacksmith?
Yeah, unless someone wants to talk to the tavern owner first.
We should probably at least say hi, since we were told about him, and perhaps he knows something about the blacksmith that maybe the blacksmith wouldn't tell us.
True. Alright, we'll head over to the old man in the corner.
And as he sees you approaching, he looks up and you can see his eyes quickly flick all across across all of you,
Assessing.
very obviously, assessing, very obviously taking in a lot of
How can I
detail.
use this?
Yeah. In particular, you get the sense that he has already picked out where most of your weapons are and stuff like that just from that quick look.
Mm-hmm.
And he waves you over. He's got a half smile, approximately what I do. Hampered somewhat by the scarring on his face and all that. And he waves you over to his table and says, "Hello, travelers. What brings you to my small little tavern?"
Hello. My name's Archie. These are my companions. We're basically scoping out the area around let's call it a new settlement up the road or down the road. I'm not sure of geography here yet. We don't have an overland map, so I can't really know.
Across the river, which now has a bridge.
Ah,
In the
Kinda,
middle of the
sorta.
forest.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Joris Kemsa. I run this this lovely little tavern.
Yours.
It's a male human.
Okay. Pleasure. Yeah, we're basically trying to make acquaintances. Our original hometown was overrun.
Up by the capital then.
Yeah. And we're hoping to make make some connections, hopefully get the people under our protection a new home. And that's going to require a lot of work and help, so we're kind of checking out the local communities and finding out what there is that we can do.
Yes, well, dreadful business up by the capital. It's good that you got away. Golden Dale here doesn't have much. We usually produce a little bit more than we need at the end of every harvest. We... sorry, one sec. We do have, if your people are looking for work, I'm sure some of the farms around here would be could use the help. And if you have any metal tools that you'd be looking to trade, we would certainly be interested.
Yes, I heard you had a bit of a scarcity of iron.
He kind of rocks his head back and forth and scratches his forehead right on the scar. Well, I'm not sure it's a scarcity of iron. Between you and I, well, something seems to be up with Julian, and it seems like he's working a lot, but we never see any of his work. I'm not sure if some bizarre project has possessed him or if he's just finally fallen so deep into the trap of perfectionism that nothing seems good enough to him.
Odd for something of a village blacksmith.
Well, we all aspire to improve our standing. I'm sure that's something that someone like you can understand.
Yeah, all right.
He was originally just a farm boy, and, well, look at him now. And I mean, those things are possible, and this may just be nothing but the overactive suspicions of an old adventurer, and he scratches at the scar. But I feel like it might be something more than that. I'm not sure what.
Oh.
Do you want us to go check it out?
I would most certainly appreciate it. He's a good friend, and it's sad to see him in this state.
Well, considering I dabble in blacksmithy, I assume I can talk him up, see what's up.
Jesus. Someone give me my rolls back.
Oh dear.
It's a no pie.
I have not rolled above a 5 this entire session.
Wow.
Sorry to hear that.
And it's really fucking sad.
Mm-hmm. I know the feeling.
Yeah, all too well, Karu.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we should know about this Does the blacksmith have a name?
Julian. It's like Julie, but with a D in it.
So maybe he's like almost as hot as your day. Is there anything we should know about Julian that perhaps may not be obvious and that is pertinent, relevant?
He looks off to the side, scratches at the scar again. I can't think of anything offhand. He's lived in this area most of his life. Used to work at one of the farms, and came out here. Well, came to the town proper and learned to become a blacksmith in between his chores.
When did he start acting funny?
About a year ago. Sometime around that nasty business in the capital, now that I come to think of it.
I'm exchanging concerned glances with Archie.
Yeah, too.
To the blacksmith then?
All right, yep.
So wait,
We'll check it
that
out.
was only half a year ago. Whatever.
Is this,
Half a year ago, then.
is
Yeah.
this going to be safe for Amorous, Archie?
Amherst is already walking towards the door.
We'll need someone to keep an eye on her.
Meanwhile, Amherst in my head is just yelling, "She's an adult."
As I say this,
Put a
I'm like
arrow.
mentally sending the drone to go sit on Amherst's shoulder.
Oh,
On her
hi
shoulder
there,
or on
how
her
are you
head?
doing? Are you tired? Let's go.
Oh my god. Doris is adorable.
Drones don't get tired.
She doesn't give a shit.
I know.
Drones also apparently don't have personality, but she already figured out Silver's personality and is teaching it tricks.
Good lord.
Hey, did she name the drone too?
I know
Right.
she did. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. It was something adorable that made sense.
Yeah, I
It's like a
can't
moth.
remember. Yeah.
No,
Anyways,
Luna. It was a
Luna.
like a lunar moth.
Yeah, because it looks like a lunar moth.
Alright. So you guys are heading to the blacksmith's homestead, I guess?
Or, well, if we
Alright.
hear him hammering away,
You do.
then we'll go to the blacksmith.
Alright. The steady ring of hammer on... Sorry?
The smithy.
The smithy, yes. The steady ring of hammer on metal sounds from one of the two buildings at the end of the narrow footpath. A poorly maintained gate, rusted off its hinges, rests near a gap in a low stone wall that is also succumbing to age. The path splits between a small cottage and a larger shed with a furiously smoking chimney. Cords of firewood are heaped high against the outside walls, and the clang of a hammer on metal rings from within. Yeah?
Wait,
What would you like to do?
You know, for a blacksmith,
How is
he
the
doesn't
gate?
take care of his gate.
Yeah.
please
Yes,
let
sir.
me fix his gate.
Well, how are you intending to fix? Mending doesn't work on corrosion.
Anybody got prestidigitation?
I actually read that. I looked that up earlier.
Alright, fucking send me the source for that shit later.
Alright, I will.
I think mending
Yeah.
can fix things, not clean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea is basically that it repairs breaks and tears, and chemical corrosion isn't either.
hmm
So
So
basically, mending. Sorry.
It could fix, like, if corrosion had, like, made a hole in the gate, you'd be able to fix the hole.
It's basically, as far as I understand it, how mending works is you can put two halves of a thing back together, which is why you can repair tears and breaks. But
Mhm.
if parts of it have corroded off, that's not really the same thing. If the hinge had been like physically broken, like by somebody smashing it, you may be able to fix that with applications of mending,
Okay.
but not by corrosion.
Just-
Because, yeah, I know that if you have mending and you have a broken wheel, you can fix it.
Yeah,
But I
It's-
get it.
I may have spent a lot of time reading about that particular cantrip earlier today.
Probably for this reason.
Fair
A
enough.
little bit, yeah.
All right.
I know
Amherst
my
is walking
players.
towards the door.
All right, the door to the house or to the cottage or the workshop.
Workshop.
Workshop, because obviously that's where he is.
All
Are
right.
there any windows?
I don't think so. But I do have narration text for it.
But
Okay.
ventilation. All right.
I mean, it has a giant chimney.
Mm.
The latch on the door hangs open. The closeness and heat within are stifling. The red glow of the fire illuminates the outline of a burly man hammering down on what might be a spade or axe head. He looks up from his work with an expression of frustration, or perhaps weariness, as he plunges his latest work into a bucket of water with a sharp hiss and gout of steam. Wiping sweat from his brow, he shrugs and in a voice raspy from disuse murmurs, "Apologies, travelers. I've no time for new work this day."
New work isn't exactly what we're here for, no worries.
Oh, then what brings you here?
Curiosity. And perhaps, to introduce ourselves. I walk forward, hand out. My name is Archie.
We were seeing if you had anything new since we've not been here before for sale.
Archie, he gives you a look, and you can see, like, his eyes are bloodshot. He's got, deep bags below them. Like, this is a guy who has very obviously not
Been sleeping well.
not been sleeping, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
He looks down at your hand and doesn't actually shake it.
Okay.
I'm afraid I have nothing that I can do for you right now. You should leave and let me get back to my work.
Hi, I'm Amaris. I thought this town was really short and metal. What are you doing?
I'm gonna slap a hand on her face. As in, like, around your mouth.
Show what are you looking for in particular?
Well, honestly, I'm almost worried that he's on something as well, because this seems pretty obsessive behavior.
Yeah, from the other alchemists, you've probably seen, like, if they work on something and don't sleep, they get really, really shaky, and that's when most things get screwed up.
And also, those that try and not sleep will take things, like take different teas or medicines or things to try and keep themselves awake.
Stimulant teas from
Shut up!
for questionable bushes.
Do you want to give me an insight check, Joe?
Insight? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother guidancing because I'm just kind of casually.
Alright. He doesn't have the, like, I guess shakes or paranoia, maybe, that you generally associate with, hardcore stimulant use.
Mm-hmm.
He just seems like he doesn't really want to talk to anybody and just wants to get back to working on whatever it is that he's doing. Speaking of which, Dacio, you slapped a hand over Amaris's face, right?
Not like slapped her across the face. I just wanted her to shut up.
Yeah, but you're occupied with that, Amaris. Alright,
I want to look around to see, like, what he's working on. Besides the thing he was working on when we entered, like, I've worked with blacksmiths. I've worked in a blacksmith's place. Like, what does this workplace tell me of him?
okay. It's kind of hard to tell with the firelight, but I am not going to make you roll for it, because it's all right there. The shop does not look the space directly around the forge itself is very well organized. All of the materials that he would use are right there in such a way that he'd be able to access them quickly. There's a place to quench right beside the forge. All that fun stuff. It's a coal forge. The coal forge itself looks decently well maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Around the shelves around the area, you can see recently finished product. What you see, however, are not farming tools. What you see are weapons and armor.
Okay. Weapons and armor. So he's working on a spade when we came in, but he's got weapons and armor finished. Does it look like Well, like, quality-wise, does it...
Give me an investigation check,
Okay.
and you're only gonna get this one before he hurries you up.
Fuck! 11.
Okay.
Busy trying to look nice, I guess.
Yeah, and he does see you looking at it, and he frowns and asks you once more to please leave and let him return to his work. But you do note, before he gets between you and his stuff, that while you can't make out the quality of this equipment, the handles for a lot of these things seem to be unusually small.
Oh, so like they're not made for human hands.
That's
Okay.
a possibility.
Do they look like Amherst-sized?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay. Alright, well, we don't want to take up his time, so we're going to drag Amherst out and leave the man to his work.
Hang on. Garm, question.
Yes.
When does it look like the last time this guy ate?
It's been a while. Also, thank you for the resub, Lo. Or
Um,
subscription, actually.
Amaris is going to try and move away from the others as they're trying to force her out because, god damn it, she's always nice. She's trying to be nice. She's just curious.
I was gonna say, after Dacio was done, like, hissing at her, he would let go of her mouth.
Yeah. And she's gonna try and walk by Archie and pull out some of the chicken she totally was saving for later because it was yummy, but what the hell, let's be nice. And is gonna hand some to him and be like, you really need to eat, by the way.
Can you give me an investigation check real quick, Amorous?
Oh no, why would you do this?
Oh, this is gonna go great.
This is gonna go awful. No,
Oh God,
Sunny's
is
still
Sunny there?
safely with Silver.
Okay, I wasn't sure if Silver came with too.
No.
5 investigation.
He takes the chicken, and you see kind of a inscrutable expression on his face. You're young and probably not super great at human faces, especially getting the
No.
firelight and everything.
I have dark vision, so that wouldn't do anything.
The firelight's still going to be flickery, and he's lit from behind and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
Backlit.
Backlit, yeah. He weakly says, "Thank you," and takes the chicken.
Emmer's just stands there waiting for a second to see if he even eats it or if he just wants to go back to work.
He stares at it for a few moments.
Like he doesn't know what to do with it.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to eat it. Put it in your mouth, chew and swallow.
Does this look like any symptom from eating anything that I would be familiar with?
Give me a nature check. And yes, he does eventually put it in his mouth and eat it. He furrows his brow a little and continues eating it.
Does he seem confused about
Finally.
eating?
A roll.
Yes.
He just seems very distracted more than anything, and also still kind of annoyed that you're here.
Yeah, that's fair.
There are a few medical things that this could be a symptom of, but this doesn't really narrow it. It's not like he's forgotten how to eat. He's just, it's probably something that's slipped his mind for a while.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Kai?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amherst is gonna look at him for a second and is like, what do you make that's really interesting? Have you seen Luna before? Archie made Luna. And Amherst is gonna point at the moth.
We're just gonna drag her out now. Right, Archie?
Yeah.
You grab one arm, I'll grab the other.
I'm trying to be nice. You told me to be nice. Why are you guys doing this?
Please leave. I need to get back to work.
You know, breaks are
We're working on it. Yes. We said let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, let's go.
And Amorous' feet are barely out the door when you hear it shut behind you.
You know, you told me to be nice, but he wasn't very nice.
No.
Yes, because he wanted to be alone, not answer questions from what he thinks as a child.
Dude!
A little worried.
And you're
about
not even off the property before you hear the sound of hammer against metal again.
Oh, we weren't leaving the property. We were just leaving his
Oh, God.
area.
Okay.
area.
Okay. What?
Yeah, if he's hammering on metal, then he can't hear anything else, right?
Oh,
Mhm.
And he
Christ.
seems pretty focused on shit.
What hellish ideas do you guys have?
I wanna. We should probably find out what he's doing making weapons and armor. I mean,
Yes.
the town is too small to really have that well equipped of a militia.
Well, considering it was too small for humans and it was
Huh?
more kobold-sized, I'm more interested in.
Who he's giving it to?
Remember, Kugmask said that there was another group of kobolds nearby.
Yeah. I'm concerned about the safety of this place. Archie,
Hmm.
I can't believe I'm saying this. You're the sort of blacksmith. How much would it screw it up to have either the fire go out or go much, much higher?
Oh, it would screw it up entirely. I'm not even a blacksmith, and I can tell you that.
Yeah. Either option would be hard to do without him spotting us, though.
I
if
wouldn't
you
be
wanted,
going for subtlety.
honestly, if you wanted to get to screw up his day, you could probably mess with the chimney, and that would
But that
drive
would
him out of
recommend-
there because smoke.
Well, not necessarily. If he's that hell-bent on getting this stuff done, he might continue on until he's forced out.
Right. But if it wouldn't take long for the smoke to take him out without proper ventilation. It's already hot as hell in there.
No, I'm saying that I can create gust of wind, and if we open the door, I can blow it out.
Or
It's a hot forge. He's working metal.
whoops, ignore that. I was going for the. I mean, there are other.
Candles and torches, not a forge.
Protected flames, like those of lanterns, dance wildly. 50% chance to extinguish them.
Yeah, but this is a forge. Like, that's...
It's a
Yeah,
10-foot wide blast of wind.
That would it's a coal forge as well, so
Yeah.
that would still affect it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
Like I said, I'm more concerned about security rather than subtlety.
Right, but I don't...
We should not go in half-cocked, though. What if we... Shh. Shush.
What do male chickens have to do with any of this? Honestly, he's not going to be able to make much in even a day. He's one person and he's at the end of his rope already. I'd be more interested in looking at where he's taking these things and who's receiving them, and I think that would
And
be a better
why.
use of our time than antagonizing him.
He looks
And
pretty desperate. Maybe
you
this might
you
be
said
a...
something about a different group of
Kobolds?
crap kobolds.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Amris, why don't you give the place a look around, see if you can find any kobold tracks or something.
Yeah, you look to say that Amaris is not.
God, I still have my drone on her. Where's my drone?
Around the back of the building.
Looking for kobold tracks.
Making kobold tracks.
Alright.
Boy tracks. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, Archie, remember that when I can locate plants, I can locate animals as well, and if we're looking for a species that's different enough from Amaris, I think we can rule her out.
Yeah. Do you guys want to take a look for tracks?
As long as you know what species to look for, I guess. Yeah, well, I want to investigate the area, see what we can find in terms of, like, goings and comings and goings. Because, like, if he's making weapons, where are they going? And that's
Yeah.
going to require, like, transportation of some kind.
Yeah. All right. Give me an investigation check.
I'll help.
All right. 21.
21.
All right. Uh, around the back of the forging area, you can see some very small footprints that are not Amoris's. Uh, they look goblinoid.
Ah, frick.
As well, you can see marks left by probably something like not quite a wagon, but more like a sled.
Cart? Oh, a sled. Okay.
This sort of thing. And they look like fairly heavy gouges, as if this thing was
Weighed
fairly
down
well
with
loaded.
armor.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that'll be easier to follow. I think we can leave the blacksmith for now. We have to figure out who's getting these stuff.
Well,
this
we
stuff.
also have to figure out why he's doing this too. Maybe the owner said he was a friend of him. We could also try pumping him for a bit more. Like, did anything happen in the past year to change this guy? Like, did he have anybody
Yeah, whatever happened
who
in
could
the
have used
capital
against
happened.
him? No, I mean, afterwards there was almost definitely additional chaos. Things probably happened during that chaos. There are certain species. What the? Where's? Well, whatever. Like kobolds and goblins
Wow.
who would happily take advantage of the chaos that causes,
Yeah.
and even human bandits.
You see
The-
Amherst just lean around the corner and say, I find that insulting, and go back to looking for other shit.
Honestly, I
Be
think
wrong.
we'd be wasting time asking him for more information. I think we should follow these tracks and see where it leads. We'll get better information if we find these goblins and interrogate them.
All right. Co, how much time do you have?
I'm still good. I have up to an hour and a half.
Okay.
Up to.
All right. All right. Let's see. So you're gonna try. Well, I'll handle Dacio first off. You're going back to the tavern.
Yeah.
I'm following Dacia then.
All right.
We're going at a speed walking pace, by the way.
It's the most efficient way to hurry. All right. So you enter the tavern. Yoris is still sitting there having some ale. Everything's basically how you left it. What would you like to do?
Yours, did you get those scars from goblins?
He wrinkles his brow and goes, "No, these scars and you hear and he like gestures his head at the crotch. And that I got that from an owl bear. Why do you ask?"
Because we met your blacksmith friend, and I think he has new friends. Or rather, not friends.
What are you getting at?
Everything's too small for you people to hold, gesturing at humans in the tavern. And there are tracks that look, well, how would you describe them?
Goblinoid.
Goblinoid.
On
He-
top of that,
He raises his eyebrows, and sorry, Joe, I'll get to you in a sec. He raises his eyebrows, and like one of them noticeably does not go as high because it kind of hits the scar. But
Oh.
it's a pretty bad scar. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Joe?
I was gonna say not only that, what he's making seems to be weapons and armor rather than things that are useful around a farm.
Well, that's actually incredibly troubling.
Yeah, I'm a little curious as to why he would be so fixated on this. In that past year, did he have any family that either went missing or was presumed dead?
Half year.
Half year.
Sorry, timelines are hard, I know. I Not as far as I'm aware. His brother still runs the farm just a bit out of town, but as far as I know, his brother's still doing well, and that's the only family he has left.
Nothing that someone would be able to hold over him. Some reason he'd be making these for. It doesn't look like money because nothing else has been fixed over there, and he hasn't eaten in ages.
He also hasn't slept. And
now about 5 minutes, but
also hasn't slept and was really, really, really hell-bent on this.
I
Looked almost desperate.
I'm not sure why he'd be doing something like that. I mean, maybe he got into something he shouldn't. Maybe his brother did. I almost wonder if we should go tell the constable.
Perhaps you're the one that's local. How would we find his brother?
Well, his brother's farm is sorry, working out distances in my head. His brother's farm's about a kilometer to the north of town. You'd have to go there and ask around for him, but he's always been a quiet boy. I don't know what kind of trouble he'd get into.
Well, at least we've got somewhere we can go.
We'll leave talking to the constable or not up to you, since we are not from around here.
Yeah, I'll let him know what's going on.
I think we should tell Archie what we found out. Ask him.
I agree.
Yeah, you see him getting up from the from the table, and like his left leg from about just above the knee down is completely missing. And he gets on, like he's supporting his weight on one leg and the crutch, and he starts slowly hobbling out of there.
Amaris, are you still with me on the whole following the tracks that we found?
She sure isn't. Let's switch over to Amaris.
Good God, have you guys ever heard of not splitting the party?
Thank you for that segue, Carter. That was amazing.
I would like to point out, how many times have I split the party and how many times have you told me? So how many times have I listened to you?
0.
Yeah, I just get to do this time, and you get to be the one dealing with the agonizing pain of don't split the party. I'm going to point out she's staying in town.
Uh-huh.
Archie looks around behind him, and everybody suddenly going just like, fuck.
But
Hey,
considering...
I wasn't stealthy.
I wasn't either. I was probably annoyed.
Alright, anyway, Amaris.
Considering Eskin and Desio went to go talk to the other guy that we've already talked to before, Amaris is like, you know who never pays attention to, do you know who never gets paid attention to, but notices a lot of shit because they shouldn't be going into places, but they totally do anyways? Kid. So Amaris is gonna try and find some local kids and ask them if they have seen anything weird around the blacksmith, or seen any like weird creatures that look like around her height, but they have green skin and really pointy ears, but they don't have tails, which she feels bad for.
Alright.
Because hey, kids get where they shouldn't, and no one pays attention to kids.
It is absolutely true. Can you give me an investigation roll?
I can try. I'm going to fail it. Actually, 14. Holy shit.
Alright, talking to the strange youth, between their various questions about what you are and all that, some things may be worded somewhat inappropriately, but they're small children.
Yeah.
They mean no harm, you can generally assume. They do say that they've seen weird child monsters, It was GM rolled show. You're good,
Ah.
don't worry. They've seen weird, like, child-sized monsters in the darkness, which match your description. Mostly around. They also mentioned that the hill on the edge of town, the burial mound, seems to glow blue at night,
Shit.
which is mad spooky. Not their words, mine. No, their words, absolutely. They definitely describe it as mad spooky.
Have any of you snuck up there at night, daring each other?
Because you know they have.
Amaris looks at the older ones to the younger ones and back and forth.
Whoever looks the most fearless.
One of the older ones looks sternly at one who looks a lot like him, presumably his brother. They share the same hair color and all that, and he goes, "Some of us have tried. Some of us had to be stopped because there's ghosts there." Billy.
Ghosts? Who's seen the ghosts? What do they look like?
They look like ghosts. Weird, spooky, glowing blue figures. The beady eyes. Weird
And it's
ears.
at the hill? Is it every night?
Not every night. I mean, the glow is every night, but sometimes you see figures moving across the glowing parts.
Huh. Okay. And when was the last time you saw the child-sized monsters show up?
About a week ago.
How often do they show up?
Sometimes it's once every few days, sometimes it's only once a month.
Okay.
Also, man, I love Amaris for these bits.
She gets information that we need that we wouldn't
You
have.
always need your one dumbass with no tact.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and the role-playing the weird children is something I never get to do, so this is pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's so true, though. Who better to
Really?
go for information than the children?
Who don't know when to keep their mouths shut.
Not to
Yeah.
mention, they hear everything their parents talk about, but they don't realize it's supposed to be a secret.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah,
Or they
know
do
how to
and they
keep
don't
their
give a
mouths
crap.
Yeah,
Hey,
totally.
Anything else you're looking for from these rural
Nope.
youths? Don't
Amaris
want to know where
thanks
the
them.
bush parties are?
No.
Alright.
Amaris thanks them and then
Who's
looks at Luna and is like, "Can you lead me back to Archie, please?
It's nice meeting you, Amaris.
Nice to meet you all too." And Amaris just waves at them.
Oh, alright. Adorable. You make your way back to Archie with no difficulties.
Okay, so Archie is not sitting there twiddling his thumbs because everyone left him behind. He's basically looked at Silver and gone, "Welp, it's just you and me." And I'm following the tracks.
Alright.
At least we stayed in town, Archie.
Hey,
I
we
want to
stayed
know
in
where
town,
they
too.
go. I'm not gonna necessarily go as far as like out of town, but I want to see where it's heading, basically.
You already are kind of out of town.
No.
We always-
Okay.
what's-
At the very edge.
You're kind of on the edge of town, yeah. Archie, would you be so kind as to give me a survival check?
Oh boy.
Wait, is Archie aided because
Yup.
of the
Oh
raptor?
my god. It doesn't
Nope,
fucking
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Sure, but also
6 or
no.
7.
Eventually the tracks hit more grassy parts of the landscape, and you lose them
And by eventually, you mean within 20 feet.
within 20 feet. Yes.
So, am I gonna guess from that the last time this heavy sled full of things was dragged over the grass was long enough ago that the grass has basically sprung back up?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. That in itself is information.
Unless it rained heavily in the last few days and the grass just sprang up from that.
Hey Garm, has it rained heavily in the last few days?
Fuck off.
You want to know how many detective shows I've watched?
Actually, I did mention recent rains in the initial description along the road.
Great. Okay.
Get fucked.
I'm just gonna say this. if Archie decides, okay, screw this, I'm done for now, and turns around, he's immediately going to just be met with Amorous, who's just following right behind him.
Honestly, and Askin and Dacio
Yeah.
at this point.
Because, like, huh?
Hi, Archie.
Oh, you caught up. Totally didn't scare me there. I knew you were coming
You
because
only
you
went
have
20
my
feet.
drone on your shoulder.
You only went 20 feet. It wasn't hard to follow.
No, I
What did you
didn't.
find out?
Wow, it really was 20 feet.
Oh man.
Nothing. I lost the trail. What did you guys find out?
You lost this trail.
I found out there's ghosts on a hill.
That one.
Actually, I may have made a slight mistake here.
Oh.
Oh.
That check was for tracking those from a different place. You successfully tracked the tracks.
Oh.
How?
Because
Oh.
if there's a giant cart in the mud.
Yeah, that certainly helps. The armor, the weight of all the armor and stuff makes it somewhat easier to track.
Yeah, that's why I was
And-
confused, but anyways.
Yeah, sorry, I misread a section.
Mm.
Also, I'm writing this off of a module. If those playing along at home had not realized, and there will be a link to it on the YouTube video, like the one where we finish up this module, so you can't go spoil my players. Please don't spoil.
We
my
won't be
players.
spoiled.
Yeah,
We'll just
I was.
derail it like in 5 minutes anyway.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
probably gonna likely happen anyway.
Anyway, so you all, Amorous and Archie, were following the trail then, right?
Yeah. Or, well, I was following the trail. She's got the
We
drone
were
so she can
following Archie.
triangulate where I am.
So she probably saw us and was like, kind of
Yeah,
dragging
so
us
the
along.
three of us are together. Archie decided to go off on his own like an idiot.
The one who
Alright.
is the worst at itself.
But you all get back together eventually. Is one thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
It just takes a while longer than 20 feet.
Yeah, the trail does lead around the edge of town
Mm-hmm.
towards the south end of town,
Which is where the burial mound
hell?
is.
towards the burial mound.
Oh, that's where the ghosts are.
What?
The
Like
what?
the way there's ghosts.
Ghosts.
Well, yeah, if we were going to gather information, I gathered information. And last time goblin creatures were spotted was a week ago. They can show up anywhere between a couple days in between or a month. And the hill glows blue every night. And there's ghosts there. What did you guys find out?
Would I know?
Collective blink.
Would I know causes of why something would glow blue nightly?
Does it
Give me a wisdom check.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming magical, so Arcana.
I mean, magic can make things go blue. I guess it's just a question of trying to narrow down why it's glowing blue here.
Oh, I want to know like what magical reasons would it glow blue?
I mean, without even rolling, there's plenty of, various types of spell that could cause something to glow blue, or just ample magical energy, maybe some weird Asimar bullshit. Given that it's a grave, it might also be ghosts.
I mean, if I'm not
Wait.
mistaken, something as simple as the cantrip light, you can choose what color the light is.
You
It's
can.
true.
I suppose.
Though the chances of a bunch of
All right.
goblins having lights.
Yeah, how would I? What would I be able to do to
Although,
narrow it down to something reasonable in this area?
I'm not sure. However, I think that's where we are going to leave it for tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
I was gonna
So
say,
you'll
would
have-
we explain to Amorous that what we talked to Yoris about?
Probably. Yeah, likely.
Yeah. So, in about, I think, 2 weeks, barring any further calamity or Gunbreak 1 getting the swine flu again, We will.
Please
You
don't.
guys will venture into the freaky, haunted-ass Goblin Mountain
All right.
Hill. Doesn't that sound
Thank you for
fun?
watching.
Yep,
Aren't
totally.
you glad that you got a cleric?
Yeah. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I think I've already done the shilling speech, but yeah.
Have a good
Uh,
night.
Have a good night.
Good night.